Hey, what's going on, Miami? Welcome to yet again another comeback of the podcast. How long has it been? 9 days? 10 days? I lost count. You know why? Because I was enjoying my time off. Every once in a while, people need a break. And I needed a break from the podcast. And it's April Fool's, so I was like, why not? Why not let today be the day where I make a return? All right, let me get out of bed. Let me get out of this comfort zone that I've built myself for the last 10 days or so to go live and say, what's up, Chef Bubs, Gogans, Berniorella? How are you? It's good to be back. I got to admit, I did enjoy my time off. Everything was smooth. Everything was going well. I was doing some writing. The memes were still coming. All right, if you still needed a laugh, you can still wake up and realize that there's a meme waiting for you over at the Miami Comedy page. A couple of updates. It is Friday, so that means that tonight we're going to be over at Thank You Miami Beer House in Cocina, one of the best comedy shows we've got going on. And I also want to announce that tomorrow is our brand new Saturday night show at the One on Sunset restaurant, and it's right off US 1. Like once you pass Sunset Place, right there on US 1, there's parking in the front, parking in the back, okay? I hope to see you guys on either show. No matter which show you go to, as long as it's a Miami comedy show, it's always a good time. So, with that being said, what have I been up to? What did I miss? Is the war still going on? Did COVID end? Well, technically speaking, rather generally speaking, COVID has been over in Miami since 2020. So, yeah. And then Will Smith slapped somebody on stage. What else did I miss? I don't think I missed much. To be honest, I think everything was covered thoroughly by the internet. And I'm just here to reiterate to say, hey, everybody, what's going on with the wacky news? Did you hear? No, one of the reasons I took a break was because I wanted to kind of realize what it is I'm going to do next for this podcast. It's every day. All right, you guys have to understand that it's every single day. This is a daily podcast to let you know that comedy exists in the city of Miami. So whether it's me coming up here and just riffing randomly about things that are happening in the news or here or in your life or in my life or here locally in Miami, to writing jokes, to writing memes, to getting podcast clips, all these things come together and becomes an amalgamation that is called the Miami Comedy Podcast. So I have to do this daily in order to keep the creative juices flowing just for you. All right, you're VIP. If you live in Miami, if you like comedy, if you support me as a comedian, this is just for you. This is an exclusive piece of content. Not for the rest, just for you. So if you're listening, thank you very much. So with that being said, let's get into April Fool's Day. First of all, I would like to say, stop using my people to commercialize a holiday. There, I said it. How dare you, America? How dare you make a mockery of my people and call it April Fool's Day? This is the day for comedians? Is this the day where we call people fools because they played a little jokey joke? Huh? I find it ridiculous that when you look at holidays like Christopher Columbus Day, they're saying we want it to be Indigenous Peoples Day. Why can't comedians look at April Fool's Day and say the same thing? Why are we the fools? Last time I checked, comedians were the ones voicing more sound opinions than the ones you hear in the news. Comedians out here are making fun of things, and we're fools for that? I actually find offense. Who do I write the letter to? Is there a Supreme Court that I can attend? Who can I talk to fix this? Why are we called fools on April Fool's Day? The next thing I would like to say about this particular holiday, if no one pranked you, no one loves you. If no one played a prank on you today, well, guess what? You're probably not that loved, because just the same way in the PE class back in high school when you used to get roasted over in the locker rooms, those are the people that cared about you the most. If no one roasted you, it's either, they don't love you enough, or they don't find comfort enough to make fun of you or to put you into a joking situation. Now, was I joked upon on this holiday? No. Okay, if that makes you feel better, no one played a prank on me because I played the prank on myself by living this life. My life is a joke, and I chose for it to be that way. I chose for my life to be like this. Starting a studio podcast, going live on a daily basis, making my life one big joke for the city of Miami. Call me the comedy martyr of this city. Crucified above you all as I write jokes on a daily basis for some people in Miami. Okay? I gave up my career in terms of going national. I gave up my career in terms of going on a Netflix, series of, what do they do on Netflix? Is it like a contract where you film one and then you get another 4 if it got good rate? I don't know how it works, but I gave that up. Whatever Netflix was supposed to give me, I'm now stuck in Miami, and I chose for it to be this way because let's be honest, it's a better approach to comedy, being local. All right. So my life, since I started in 2009 all the way to today, April 1st, 2022, has been one big April Fool's joke on myself, where I had a dream, I had an aspiration of being a nationally touring comedian. I wanted to be like Dave Attell. I wanted to go travel cities. I wanted to go over here. I wanted to fly over there. I wanted to make that city laugh in the middle of nowhere. But my fate made me stay in this city and do jokes for you guys on a daily basis. And I got to admit, one of the best comedy pages in Miami. I'm just saying, not to brag, but I'm humble enough to say thank you for allowing me to not be a homeless comedian in Miami. Even though my life is one big prank on myself, I want to thank this city for allowing me to make a living in comedy. Oh, and what a great lifestyle it is to make a city like Miami laugh. You know what's great about making this city laugh? If you can make Miami laugh, pretty sure you can make other cities laugh because Miami, no one cares. Miami is just so full of sensationalism. You got parties over here, you got drugs over there, you got ladies over here, you got yachts over there, you got beaches over there, you got fine dining over here, you got 5-star hotels over there. And then what do you got? Oh, you're a comedian, really? Well, tell me why I should go to your show and not party with these 5 girls at Club 11. So, if I can make that person entertained, or if I can make that person come out to a show in Miami, pretty sure that I can go to another city where they got, owl farms? I'm pretty sure I can make those cities laugh. All right? Because sensationalism is at an all-time high in the city of Miami. So your competition is not another comedian. Your competition is awesome nightlife experiences. Okay? So growing up as a comic in this city was an absolute blessing. And I want to thank the people of Miami for giving me that blessing. For all those tuning in and watching the podcast and looking at my memes and going out to a comedy show. You guys don't know how amazing that is. So on April Fool's Day, I'd like to commemorate that. On April Fool's Day, I would like to reflect that myself as a comedian in the city of Miami is a blessing in disguise, let alone a miracle. I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up in some brochure or pamphlet, maybe not a book, but no. I'll probably end up being on a documentary for like a little bit. You know what I mean? I probably end up in a documentary, the history of comedy, where some obscure guy shows up and be like, in the city of Miami, there was no comedy until this mustachioed man by the name of Manny Garavito arrived to the scene and started putting together a garage when the internet was booming. And even though he never went past Miami, he made a solid career for himself. Anyways, Joe Rogan had the most popular podcast. You know what I mean? And then they just move on to the next thing. But at least I have my say, okay? So it's pretty miraculous to make a living. And I got to admit, I got to be humble and I got to be boastful at the same time on April Fools. What a blessing it is to make a living as a comedian in Miami. That is insane. Oh, wait until the people get a load of this. 10, 20, 30 years from now, when people look back, let's say 10, 20, 30 years from now, maybe one of your kids want to be a comedian one day. Imagine that. You have a kid and then they say, when I grow up, I want to be a comedian. You're just going to have flashbacks of me with this background and my mustache on a microphone. And you're going to be like, oh no. How did Manny do it? I didn't pay attention enough. How did he become an entrepreneurial comedian? Do I need to get my son a studio? What do I do to make my son's dreams come true? And God knows what I'll be back, at that time. Probably selling drugs. Or macking it to your wife when you're not around. Oh! No, just kidding. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that, all right? No matter how much of a sugar daddy I am, I will never take on a man's prized wife. That's just not good karma. I know people that will do it on a heartbeat. I know people that do it. I know wives that do it and that are still doing it on the DL. Yeah, there's no April Fools for that. Can't cheat on your husband and wife and be like, April Fools, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. I don't know where I'm going with this. Another thing that I'd like to point out for April Fool's Day is make today, we need a new definition for April Fool's Day. And here's what I would like to propose. Apart from comedians finding gratitude for their career choices, but it should. That's right, Chef. It should. Apart from comedians making the career choice of being what it is, of being the person that they are and being grateful for that, April Fool's Day should also be a day to reflect for everyone else as well. Where in your life are you a fool? Who's done you wrong? Okay? Has your boss done you wrong? Are you a fool for not leaving that job yet? Did that girl not text you back, so you texted her 3 more times? I want you to really pause and reflect as to why or how you are being a fool in your life. How are you playing yourself? As a matter of fact, that's a great idea. Why don't we do that? Why don't you do that? Why don't you take April Fool's Day, April 1st, every single year, a time where you just sit back and you reflect about your life and where you're going wrong. Be like, where am I a fool? I'm a fool in falling for that guy again. I'm a fool for triple texting her. I'm a fool for spending all my money yet again. As a matter of fact, April Fool's Day should be the day where you look at your New Year's resolution. Why don't you review your New Year's resolution and see where you're effing up? That's a joke right there. Bam, we just nailed it. That's awesome. April Fool's Day should be the day where you look over your New Year's resolutions and you see how you played yourself. Oh, the riff still comes in handy. There's the joke. All right. Oh, man, I miss podcasting. See, this is why I love podcasting. There you go. Will be posted shortly. Oh, that's not totally crazy. Like you did with comedy? Exactly, Johnny Filler. No exceptions to the rule. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. So, yeah, I think in the future we should... can we get a petition going? Huh? Can we get a petition going where April Fools, not only should it be renamed, I don't know why comedians are considered fools, we're the most sound opinions right now. Did you see how Chris Rock took that slap. Only a real comedian can get slapped in public in that way in an award ceremony with a bunch of prestigious people in the audience. Take it, be humiliated, and just suck it all in and move forward. That is the power of a comedian. Our logic, some of us, I've seen some pretty messed up comedians as well, but for the most part, comedians that know what they're doing are very much in control with their feelings and emotions to the point where it's almost, you look at it and you're like, that is crazy. The level of humiliation someone would feel getting slapped that way would probably result in a fight, calling security, pressing charges, suing, who knows, reputation damages. Chris Rock dropped all that. That's one of the superpowers comedians have. We go through humiliation and we don't feel it as much as the layman person does. But anyways, I digress. Another thing we should add into the petition is make April Fool's the day where you appreciate your comedian in your community. And the comedians should be grateful for having a career in comedy if they do have one. Make April Fool's the day where you thank your comedian, even if it's an open micer, even if it's your favorite memer or your favorite podcaster. Comedians should need a day to appreciate. Why you got to prank them? No, instead you prank them. Instead, you throw the custard pie at his face after all he's done for you. I find it ridiculous. But then again, that's what makes the irony of April Fool's Day. The second thing we should include in the petition is, where are you playing a fool in your life? Make April Fool's the day where you look back and realize that there are certain aspects of yourself that make you play yourself. One great example is looking at your New Year's resolutions and seeing where you are now with them to see that you're a fool. There you go. All right. That was a good riff. Thank you all very much for joining me. So glad to be back for the podcast. A couple of updates. I am going to use TikTok Live soon, and I can't wait to see what that community there is like. Again, though, I would like to reiterate that YouTube has got to be the best channel for the podcast. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. MiamiComedy.com/YouTube. It is by far the most reliable, most user-friendly, and most useful, really. It's got a chat function. It uploads it immediately. It doesn't freeze up. Great quality. And it's easily searchable. So if you'd like to support this podcast, MiamiComedy.com/YouTube will take you directly to the channel. Just hit subscribe, put the little bell. I also heard that Instagram now has a function where you can put your favorites on a list. So if you want to add me on there, that would be great. Maybe you can get updates and notifications whenever I go live. And last but not least, I just printed out some t-shirts. Brand new black and white t-shirts with another NFT design. If you haven't seen that, visit the Instagram page to see the brand new design. It is a flamboyant flamingo with this very microphone holding on to a glass of iced tea because I'm sober. But that's not just me. The flamingo, Flemmy the Flamingo, is really just anybody that's a fan of comedy in the city of Miami. Male or female. He's very androgynous. However, I plan on doing different designs apart from just Flemmy. I'll be doing female versions of the flamingo, different shirts, different things in their hands, different microphones, you name it. All right, I got big plans for the NFT project. So another thing that I'd like to say thanks for all the people that bought the shirts before. I didn't know it was going to be sold out that quickly. I'm very impressed. Thank you. All right, so those new shirts should be arriving shortly. Give it about a week and a half or two, and you'll be seeing it on the ticketing pages to any of our shows. All right, that is it for the podcast, everyone. It's good to be back. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Have a great Friday night. Happy April Fools. Bye, y'all.